Morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Carrie. I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. So it's such a pleasure to meet you. I mean, I've seen so much about you and you've been so inspiring so far. So I want our audience to know the type of person that you are inside and out. So can we get started?
Absolutely. I've been looking forward to this all week.
Thank you. So would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, so my name is Shaista Sophia and the founder of SkinStem Skincare. I am a pharmacist by profession, and that's me.
Okay, so what made you start this brand? I mean, it's so good to see something like this come out and so many women look forward to it because so many of them are so afraid of letting this side of them be public, into looking into it, going into such a skincare product. What made you start it? What was the behind the scenes?
So I always wanted to be an entrepreneur inside, but I was always scared to take that risk and to move forward. And working in the pharmaceutical industry, I've always come across women who would tell me their concerns, and I wanted to provide solutions. So that is one of the things when you start a business is that you have to look at problems in the world and how to create solutions. So women would come to me and they would have this pigmentation or that ingrown or problem with their skins. And so I would make things for them. And that's when I realized that there was a gap in the market. And so women also started speaking to me about their intimate skincare health. And that's when the idea started, like, if we have facials for the face, why don't we have facials for your flower area? And it's such a gap in the market, and nobody is speaking about it. And everyone only focuses on their face, but your body is from your head to your toe. And that's where the idea started. That's where the concept started. And that was my inspiration for the brand. It was about promoting confidence, body positivity. It was about women taking the next step. Like, your idea can be so crazy. Like, when this idea came to me, I was like, oh my God, how am I going to tell people about
Yeah.
this? How am I going to tell my family? Is it going to be rejected? And all of these thoughts start going into your head. But
Yeah.
it is at these moments where you have to put away the fear and walk in faith. And everything starts with a step. And it starts with just moving forward and chasing your dreams. And that's when I realized that I'm a pharmacist, but I can use my talent or what I'm good at to actually make a difference in the world and to create confidence in women. As a woman growing up in the 21st century, it's very important for us to have a voice in this world and to be authentically ourselves. And I felt that the women around me were not given an opportunity to live their dreams. And that's why I wanted to start SkinStem. I wanted to show women that even if your idea is crazy, even if you don't believe in yourself, find that power within you, find that fire burning in. You've been in bad relationships. Most of us have been put down, low self-esteem, but we can't live in that self-pity forever. We have to have an A-game mindset, an A-game mentality where if every day you're bringing your best, whether it is in your business, whether it is at school, if you're still studying, anything that you do, if you're in sport, if you have an A game mentality, and you'll look back later in your life and you'll be like, wow, I've actually achieved this. So yeah, my business started in COVID in 2020. It took a long time, but I've only launched for about 6 to 8 months, and I still have a long way to go. And it's
Yeah.
a learning process, continually learning. But I'm enjoying it.
It's so good to hear a woman speak like you because you get so many women that are afraid to say certain things or come up with certain things because they're more concerned about how am I going to be judged by the people around me instead of what do I feel like, do I want to do it, should I do it, instead of thinking what are they going to think if I start this, are they going to be with me? Because if you look at it, you don't need anyone to be with you as long as you are, like you said, have a straight head on, you can do it because all you need to do is believe in yourself, have faith, and I'm sure it's going to pan out. Because if we look at it like when you first started, you didn't think it was going to grow into something bigger and better and going to put all of your energy and time into. You started it as in, I want to and I'm going to.
it all started with an idea. It started with a hunger. And I think as women, that's what we need to find. You need to find like what makes you hungry, what makes you get up in the morning. And like you said about the voices and the rejection, like coming up with an idea that is so different compared to everybody else, is that you have to cut out the voices that do not speak life into you. So it's all about association. So surround yourself with people that speak life over your life, if that makes sense, that will encourage you to be the best version of you. And that's what I started doing. And especially in COVID, you realize who your friends are, you realize what is important in life, your family is important, what life means to you and your values. And that's what I had to do in that time of growth, is I had to find out, who is Shaista? You know, what am I about? What do
100%.
I want to leave this earth with? What type of mother do I want to be? What type of wife do I want to be? What type of businesswoman do I want to be? And so once I found out who I really was as a person, that's when I gave my dreams some wings to fly. And I was like, I am doing this. And that's how basically the brand started. So you have to really look deep inside of you before you do anything, because the world will throw arrows at you and you just have to dodge the bullets, and you've got to put your head down and do the hard work.
It's, I can't wait for our audience to hear this, because it's so good that in every statement you've made, you've always said it's what I went forward with. It's not with what did people tell me to go forward with, it's what I went forward with. So since we've spoken how the brand started, can you tell us what is this special brand all about? Where do we use it? And what products would you recommend?
Okay, so SkinStem Skincare is South Africa's first intimate skincare brand, which I'm really proud. So it is not skincare for the face, it is skincare for your V area. So it's the vulva area. And like I said before, like you have a facial for the face. So I was like, let's do a facial for the V area, because as women that shave, wax, you get ingrowns, you get pigmentation, you get low self-esteem, and I didn't even know that women had this concern until they were bringing it to me. And so that's when I developed three products. I only have three products out at the moment. I have a cream, an exfoliator, and a serum, which you can purchase on my website, and all of the information is on there. But basically, our cream is for hydration and pigmentation. Our exfoliator is what you use in the shower to prevent ingrowns and razor bumps, and which you would use before you go to a waxing or shaving. And then we also have a serum which has like salicylic acid, collagen, glutathione. So for all of the pigmentation and blemishes, it's, yeah, that is my brand.
Okay, so we're hoping that once this goes live, those ladies are gonna traffic your website, that it's gonna go on a slowdown,
Hopefully.
because
Fingers
everyone needs everyone needs one.
Oh, you know what I love about this brand is that it is just so different. And I want to create a platform where women's voices can be heard and conversations can be started. And so it's not about the sales for me. You know, like I know it's going to do well. That's the confidence level that I have. But it's about
100%.
just it's about creating a community. It's creating a safe space for women to speak about things. And I didn't even know the struggles that women had until they started sending me DMs, and like anonymous DMs, and until people started magazines, and the questions that girls ask. And I was like, wow, I'm actually stepping onto an area that was just left one side. And then I have guys asking me, like, is there something for guys? You know, and I don't know where this brand is taking me. And enjoying this ride. It's a learning experience every single day. And it's
100%.
pretty exciting.
And so with your entire brand and the journey you've been through, what would you say is like your core moments or your core memories when you first started? What's something that you'll always keep with you to say that this is when I realized it is what it is?
So 5th of November 2022 was a day that I will never forget, because that was the day that I got my first sale.
Oh my
so
word.
so we only launched last year August. So at the
Okay.
end, not August, sorry, end of October. So end of October is when we actually went live with the brand and like the websites and stuff. And so 5th of November was the day I got my first sale. And that was the day that I'll never forget. Got that email that I got my first sale. And I sat in bed and I just cried, because when you put hard work into something, when you put faith behind something. And that's also something that I want to share with you ladies, is that it's so important to add God into your business. It's so important to seek his face every single day, no matter what you're going through. He is the way maker and the promise keeper. So I always knew that God had my back. And when I got that sale, that's the first thing that I did, is I just thanked him and I cried in bed. It was it that for me, it's all the small wins. It's the small wins that it's not
It's
about the big.
about remembering or reminiscing those small wins. So when that win gets bigger, you've already had those small milestones. So the bigger one is like a whole lot of thanks that you're giving because it finally came. Like all your hard work had paid off, not
Mm.
just in that moment, but it paid off, and it's something that you put your whole heart into. Not just said, okay, you know what, this is what I'm doing, this is how I'm doing it, and I'm gonna let it go on its own way. As you said, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm doing it, but you put in like so much of hard work into it that when it finally paid off, and that's where those tears come from, right? It's like tears of joy because it's so
Yeah.
overwhelmingly positive.
It was a surreal experience for me, and I think it was just as the journey started, it was receiving feedback from my customers. I try and make my business as personal as possible, so I try and keep in contact with my customers. I write them little notes. So it's just about getting feedback, creating that conversation. um, And for me, those are wins. Like, it's not about the big things for me. I want to see my customers happy. I want to see their lives improved. I want to see their confidence improved. They must be able to learn from me and eventually
Yes.
start their own business or take their power back. And that is what Skin STEM is about. It's about rooting yourself in your power and being the best version of yourself. That's my brand.
So what advice would you give from your perspective for a female that's just starting out, or moms that are watching this and want to get their daughter into a routine, just to encourage them? What is something you would suggest, and how would you suggest they go about a routine for a first time mom having a teenage daughter or a preteen daughter? What are some of your suggestions?
So the first thing I would suggest is to declutter your life and to take a look at your surroundings. Who are you talking to? What are you watching? Who are you listening? Because all that information feeds you. So also watch the voices around you. Who are you speaking to? And also find out who you really are and what you really want to do. I would say that you would need to look at the opportunities around you, because there's opportunities everywhere. So don't make excuses and say, I can't do this, or it's not the right time, or I don't have enough money. It all starts with a step, and be ambitious, be
Mhm.
hungry for your dreams. Do not give up. Only you can fix your life. Only you can take your life to the next level, or to get out of that financial situation. Or if you have dreams, like only you can change it. And that's the advice I want to give young women, is that it all starts with you. You cannot blame the economy. You cannot blame your situation. Put your head down. And like I said, that A game mentality, it's every day, live your best day, do your best. And eventually you'll look back and you'll be like, wow, I achieved something, or I actually did something.
It's I can't believe how positive this morning has started out, because it's so good to speak to someone that has such a positive outlook. And no matter, life has so many things that's being thrown at you on a daily basis, and to have that kind of an outlook and to say that, you know what, no matter what's going to be thrown at me today, I'm going to catch that ball with both hands and I'm going to pass through it. And I can't wait to see the type of feedback that you get from our audience, because I myself, as a female, am so empowered by what you said today that I definitely want to start a routine and get better into it, because I mean, like you said, no one pays attention to that type of detail. And that is why it's the first South African intimate skincare brand. So it's been so good to finally hear the behind the scenes of how it started, because all we see is the product pictures, the sun shines. We don't see like when the sun sets, what's going on behind it. We just see the sunrise parts of it. So would you like to say anything else? Would you like to add anything?
Um, I would just like to encourage your audience and the women that watch this podcast, or sorry, listen to this podcast, that first of all, I'm very proud of you for starting this podcast. I'm very proud of you for also taking that step, and for for going after your dreams. But I would like to encourage women to be the best version of themselves. What are wings if you cannot use them to fly? So, take those wings that you have and start flying. There's no right time to start a business. Just go and just do it. Um, I would also want to encourage women to also spend some time to get to know yourself, because you cannot start something without expertise. You cannot start something without knowledge in an area. So if you are going to start a business or a podcast or anything, try and learn every single day. And you will fail. There will be days where you'll have a bad day, but it's all about work-life balance. It's all about picking yourself up. And when you're at your lowest, don't ever forget how beautiful you are, and then who God made you to be. And find that value inside yourself and pick yourself up and just start running. Starting something is about being consistent. It is about having discipline. You never know what life is going to throw at you the next day. You don't know what tomorrow holds. So make the best for today. Also remember to laugh and enjoy life and enjoy whatever life throws at you. It's not about being serious the whole time. Take that mental break. If you're suffering with burnout, take that step back. Go and journal. Go and take a walk on the beach. But always strive to be the best version of yourself, because you don't know who's watching you. You don't know who you are inspiring. That's what I've learned in this journey, is that people look at you as a woman, and just put your best step forward.
So much. I can't wait for this to be aired. I can't wait for our audience to hear it, because it's such an overwhelming sense of positivity, and it was such a lovely interview to have you and understand where it all starts and where it came from. Hopefully, we've encouraged so many women out there that's had such difficulties previously, and I hope that they are able to share their stories, and we get to correlate with them in those disappointments, those adventures, the positive outcomes, celebrate their achievements. But it was such a pleasure to meet you and speak to you, also get to know you. But thank you so much for joining us. And we're going to keep you updated. Our audience is going to keep you updated on their skincare routines and definitely any new businesses that they've started. And we're just going to radiate with positivity.
That's amazing. Thank you for having me.